Hey, shout out to everybody today who came out to Cali's Take. It's your first time to the channel. Please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get all my content. And let's begin. So, in today's episode, we want to harp back on what the Clippers need to do in order to win Game 4. You know, Game 4 is crucial. Game 4 is a game where the Clippers are really going to have to find themselves in this game a lot earlier. And what I mean by that is don't let it get to a 30-11 lead like it did last game with Dallas being up 30-11, and then you fight your way all the way back and pull out a miraculous victory. Because those type of things, those type of ways are not going to work going forward. You know, you're going to have to, try to make it this game where you're up 30-11 on Dallas and make them have to work and come back and, fight against you. You come out with the first swing. You come out with the first initiation. You come out with the first punch. Punch them in the mouth first. Knock them out in the end, which is the fourth quarter. And that's the mentality you need to have. If you come out here with the same mentality of last game, you might not come back. They might have a 30-11 lead, and this time they might put you away. But the whole plan is don't come out here with a lackadaisical effort. Come out here with more effort than what you played the last time. Because if you don't, then I'm telling you, bad things are going to happen. You have to understand that not only every game from this point on is a game 7 for you, but you need to win this series because your fans, Clippers fans, Clipper, analysts, or analysts out there, who are critiquing the Clippers, they're all just waiting to pile on more and more BS about how you're not a good team and how you're not worthy enough of playing in the same building as the Lakers and how you're not good enough to, be put with names like LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and how Kawhi Leonard is not on LeBron's level. And all these things are going to be said. All these things. And I want the Clippers to bottle up all this stuff, and use as motivation. And if the Clippers lose, they're going to come out there and say, well, if playoff P didn't do this and way off P, we can't forget about the playoff P slander. And I'm not even going to lie. Like, I have been hard on Paul George at times on this channel. And it's only because I want to see Paul George do good. It's only because I really like Paul George as a player. And I've always liked Paul George as a player, especially when he was on Indiana, But him coming short in the playoffs, it's always been his Achilles heel. And it's like the playoffs has always been his kryptonite. And to me, he has something to prove just as much as everybody else on the team does, if not more, because of his playoff record. And I really hope that he proves it. I really hope that he comes out. I really hope he plays to the level of expectation that we all know that he can. Because if he does, and Kawhi Leonard does what he does, which is the usual for him, and just, the other guys chip in and play their role like they give a damn. Play defense like they can. I've seen Marcus Morris play good defense before. I've seen him play really good defense. We used to see him play good defense, when he was on the Celtics just a couple years ago. I've seen him play some good defensive games when he's been with the Clippers during the regular season. But this is what I'm saying. You got to come out there and want to prove it to everybody. Everybody's going to sit there and try to demoralize you, defamate your character, push around the name of the Clippers as in like it's just, oh, the paper clips and a team that's no good. And see, I told you the Clippers weren't no good. And see, I told you the Clippers couldn't do it. You know, you got, I think Jason McIntyre, you got Colin Cowherd, you got Shannon Sharp, you got Nick Wright, you got Stephen A. Smith. You know, you got all these people that are just naysayers towards, you know, your team and your best players. And it's just a bunch of BS that us as basketball fans have to hear just because the Clippers are not the Lakers. Well, the Clippers organization, if you want to go organization-wise, you know, the Lakers won 17 championships. That's great. So I guess if you want to, in hindsight, you could say the Clippers have never been the Lakers in hindsight, but the Clippers are a good team now that they have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They just came up short last year. And, you know, analysts say it all the time. Any built team, super team, or any type of team you want to call like that, never usually win the championship the first year. So, I mean, and I'm not saying the Clippers have a super team because they don't have 3 stars, but the Clippers do have a good enough team to at least make it to a finals. They actually have a good enough team to win a finals, really. But like I said, I'm not, you know, the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, that's going to be really tough for either LA team to beat them. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't be beat because don't get me wrong, Brooklyn can be beat. You know, especially if they just focus all on offense and don't play no defense. They can be beat. So, I mean, we saw Jason Tatum drop 50 on them the other night, and somehow the Celtics got a game out of them. Now, I don't know how that even happened, but I thought that was going to be a clean sweep myself. But, hey, you know, because they got those 3 stars, sometimes they play lackadaisical. And it showed throughout the season. And they haven't played that many games together, too. So you got to understand that. That's definitely plays a factor as well. But my point is this. The Clippers need to come out there with the mentality of it's us against the world. That's the mentality they need to have every game going forward in the playoffs. Because I guarantee you, if they play with that mentality, I don't think it's no team that could beat them. I don't think as many teams, or if any, can beat them if they have that mentality. But they gotta have specifically that mentality. And because I know as much as Clipper fans out there listen to all the slander of the players and the team, I know the team themselves, the roster, you know, Kawhi and PG and, you know, Ty Lue and the whole staff. I know they're tired of hearing the slander too. And I think they should just take all the slander and talk about it in the locker room today and use as motivation going forward to fuel them to beat every opponent going forward, to win every game going forward. I think that's what Ty Lue should do. I think Ty Lue should go in there today and say, hey, we're going to talk about everything that, you know, Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, all those naysayers and, you know, media people say about us. And we're going to bring it all, we're going to lay it all on the table. And we're going to talk about how we want to prove every one of them wrong. That should be the motivational speech today, which should fuel the Clippers going forward. Because, you know, every time the Clippers lose a game, one game, the media just finds ways to knock them down even more. Why do the media hate this team so much? We all know why. Because they're the only team that can really give the Lakers a run. They're the only team that's a threat to the Lakers. Nobody else in the West is a threat to the Lakers. Nobody is. I don't care. Utah, Phoenix Suns, you know, the Memphis Grizzlies, you know, the Nuggets, Portland. It doesn't matter. They're not a threat to the Lakers. There's only one team in the West that would give the Lakers all they can handle. And that would be the Clippers. So we know the reason why they slander the Clippers, because they want to uplift the Lakers more. But I don't think they should do that. I'm totally 100% against that. But at the same time, the Clippers need to use it as fuel. The Clippers need to push themselves in a way where they have to look at themselves like we are the team in LA now. But in order for us to prove that, in order for us to let the world know that, we got to go out there and put it on display. We got to go out there and act like we give a damn about every possession when they're on the court. Every possession. Rotate, switch, don't miss assignments. Don't give no easy layups to the basket. Don't let Luka, don't make it easy for Luka. Don't let Finney Smith or any of these guys get off with all the three-pointers they've been making. Contest every shot. Play with high basketball IQ. That's exactly what Kawhi Leonard said last year after they lost to the Denver Nuggets in the bubble. But you know the reason why Kawhi Leonard can say that? You know why he's right when he say that? You know why Nick Wright is wrong when he said that Kawhi Leonard was wrong for saying that? Kawhi Leonard could say whatever the hell he wants because he's won 2 championships and he's been a 2-time finals MVP. He knows what the hell he's talking about. He knows exactly what it takes to win a championship. He was born in San Antonio in the NBA, basically, because he was taught by one of the best coaches, if not arguably the best coach in NBA history. In Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich is arguably one of the best coaches ever in NBA history. What Greg Popovich has done with the San Antonio Spurs teams in his prime of being a coach was remarkable. How they helped develop Kawhi turn into the player that he is now, remarkable. And this is what I'm saying. Kawhi is used to a winning culture, and he can implement them ways on this team, but the team has to want to do it. And everybody has to be willing to listen. If you're not willing to listen, then so be it. It's not going to work. But I think Kawhi Leonard can get through to this team. And I think Kawhi Leonard is talking a lot more than what the media makes it seem. Oh, Kawhi's not a great leader. He's not this. He's not that. How do you know? Are you in the locker room with Kawhi and the Clippers? Do you know anything about Kawhi Leonard? Do Kawhi give a damn about your opinion? Or are you just sitting here trying to sell the fans something on TV just so you can get ratings? I think that's what it is. I think you're just selling more to the fans so you can get ratings. Because other than that, I don't really care what Colin Cowherd has to say. I don't care what Nick Wright has to say. I can deal with Shannon Sharpe because I feel like he's more, jokingly saying things with his. I can deal with him. But Nick Wright, people like that, Stephen A. Smith, really, I think they should just fire those people specifically because they need some new sound on those shows. They need more reality talk instead of hatred towards somebody who's never done anything to them. It's one thing if you don't like, Kawhi Leonard, but it's one thing. Well, I should say this. It's one thing if you don't like Kawhi and the Clippers or PG, but it's another thing to just slander them in the form and fashion and the way they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? You could respectfully, not, like a player or like a team, but it's a way to do it. Like when I look at the show Speak for Yourself with Acho and Marcellus Wiley and Slick Rick. I don't think Acho is a Clippers fan by what I get out of what he says, but I really don't hear the slander, the emotional slander, if I may say, in his voice. I don't really hear that in his voice. I hear that he's more Team Lakers than he is Team Clippers. I hear that in Acho's voice. I definitely see him more of a Lakers fan than a Clippers fan, but I don't hear the hatred towards Kawhi and the Clippers coming from Acho. I just don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, listening to certain analysts say certain things, you can just kind of tell who has more of a hatred for a team than the other. You know what I'm saying? Like when you hear Nick Wright or somebody like that talk about the Brooklyn Nets, of course he's all against the Brooklyn Nets because he's all about the Lakers. But it just doesn't sound like the hate is in his voice when he speaks on teams like that. It just doesn't sound that way to me. And that could just be me. You know, I mean, you know, I'm not saying that, that's the way it is, but that's just how I feel. That's just the way I take it. That's just my take on the situation. And I feel like, you know, when we look at the Clippers, yeah, they have deficiencies. Yeah, they have defects, just like any other team does. But why are we only pointing out all their defects? Why don't we point out any other team's defects? You see what I'm saying? Like, why not? Why is everything, why every time the Clippers lose one game, everybody's panicking? The Clippers can lose one game and everybody panics. Oh, they're not who they were. They're not who they say they were. They're not this. They're not that. You know, this is the reason why I said I really hope the Clippers take it as far as they can in the playoffs, because I really get tired of hearing people down a team that has really good players on there and just try to demoralize a team for no reason. I mean, you really got analysts up there saying, you know, Luka's a better player than Kawhi Leonard and all this stuff. Get out of here. Really. We do not need to hear stuff like that. Because anybody know anything about basketball, like I said on my video that I made last night, you can go check it out, about Kawhi Leonard being the best player in the playoffs so far. Nobody should ever think Luka Doncic is better than Kawhi Leonard. Luka Doncic is a great player, but he has not proven anything in this league yet. He has not won an MVP. He has not won a championship. He has not been to a finals. He's just a nice kid from Slovenia who can ball. And don't get me wrong, he can ball. He's a great player. Don't get me wrong. He is. He is A1 certified. No doubt. I'm not even going to hold him like that. He is A1 certified. Don't get me wrong. But let's wait a couple more years and see what type of points he puts up on the board. Because when you talk about the great players in the game, when we talk about points being put up on the board, now we're talking about championships. Now we're talking about MVPs, finals MVPs. See, those are putting points up on the board. Those are real points. He hasn't gotten to that level yet. Now, will he get there? I do believe he will. I'm not sure if he'll ever win a championship with him shooting free throws as poorly as he does. I mean, because in this series right here, he's shooting 50% from the three-point line, but he's also shooting 50% from the three-point line or the free throw line. I mean, his free throws, he's shooting the same percentage from the three-point line as he is with his free throws. That's atrocious. That's atrocious basketball. Because as much as you're knocking down the three, well, you're giving some of those points away or giving some of those points back to the other team by not making the free throws. I've seen him go to the line several times this series and miss two of them. Back-to-back free throws. I mean, you're not going to win championships like that. But like I said, he's got time to develop, and I'm not even worried about him because he's definitely got time to be who he needs to be. You know, but at the same time, he's not a better player than Kawhi Leonard right now. Nobody should think that, and really, nobody should even put that on TV because it's not even worth the conversation, and to be quite honest, it's not even worth, you know what I'm saying, even bringing up the topic because Like I said, Kawhi has proven in this league. He's been proven. And, you know, he's on a quest for his third championship. You know, Luka is on a quest for his first. You know what I'm saying? So it's levels to this. It's levels to this. Always has been. Everybody know how it goes in the NBA. You're not on that level if you're not winning championships. And Kawhi is a 2-time Finals MVP. It's not like he won those championships just being a part of a team. You know what I'm saying? That was good. He was a part of a team that he actually helped win the championship. Because of his defense on LeBron, he won Finals MVP with averaging 20 points a game. Because of what he did in Toronto and how great that one miraculous season was, now he's a god in Toronto. He carried them to the championship. Nobody picked Toronto to go to the championship. Nobody picked Toronto to even make it past the second round, probably, against Philly. Everybody had Philly winning that series. But this is what I'm saying. Kawhi has done basketball god-like things already. And until Luka proves that, then that's not even worth the conversation. So my point is this, Clippers. Today, use all the fuel and all the slander and hate. Use all of it as motivation because you're gonna need it. And I know the Dallas Mavericks want to definitely come out and prove that last game was a fluke. And they just got caught slipping. And they got, they got head over heels for a second, and they want to come out and prove that, they can beat you. And if you don't come out, Clippers, and play the way you should, the Dallas Mavericks will beat you. And then the series more likely to be over with. So my thing is this, you want to put your imprint on the game. You want to be, you want to be concise. And you don't want to start out the way you did last game. If anything, be up 30-11 this game and make the Dallas Mavericks work for it and come back. Because even though Dallas can shoot threes and all those things, we saw what happened last game when you had them down 10 points. And the way they reacted and the way they started to panic. Luka hit a couple threes at the end, but it really didn't matter. The game was over then. The Clippers were in control, and I didn't feel like anything Luka could have did at the end really, really would have saved them because, for the Clippers to come back from a lead like that, being down the way they were, that really, really, really is not a good look on the Dallas Mavericks. You're at home with a crowd like that. Dirk Nowitzki is up there in the skybox looking like, what the hell is going on? Should I put a jersey on and help this young boy finish these guys off? Because this young boy can't do it. Now, that's just one game. Dallas Mavericks definitely have a chance today to end it, or basically end it, I guess. But we'll see how it goes. But I really hope the Clippers come out with the mentality of, they want to basically end the Dallas Mavericks' confidence. Because if they beat Dallas tonight, they will definitely put a dent in the Dallas Mavericks' confidence. They definitely will. And I hope that's what happens because I'm just tired of the Clippers slander. And, Kawhi Leonard's my favorite player. I've been on record saying it a long time now. So I definitely want to see Kawhi excel because I definitely think his greatness is undermined and underappreciated. And you can check out my other video I made last night and talking about that. But we definitely need to see more, of what the Clippers are really made of. And like I said, to me, I honestly believe if the Clippers lock down the way they're capable of doing, I honestly believe they won't lose. I honestly don't believe they'll lose another game in this series. I think they could win 4 straight or 3 straight now if the Clippers lock down. But they got to lock down on defense, and that's just the way they have to be. They can't. They have to lock down on defense and be mentally engaged. And the offense will come. Because just how they did last game, when they went on that 14-0 run, they played defense the way they were supposed to, and they didn't allow those other guys to just keep piling on the lead. They actually went out there and got in their face and defended them and bumped him a little bit, gave him a little physicality. They actually did that. And that's what helped them go on that 14-0 run. Kawhi was spectacular. Once again, phenomenal. Paul George, especially that first second quarter, Paul George was phenomenal. He kind of flailed off a little bit in the second half. You know what I'm saying? But no worries. Kawhi was there to take care of that for you. I actually like that Kawhi and Rondo in the fourth quarter. I actually think that's a really executable type roster, because now you're putting Kawhi in position to close these games. And if he gets double teamed, kick it back to Rondo. Rondo will make a good decision, because either Rondo will blow past his defender and find either Rondo will blow past his defender and find a 3-point shooter at the 3-point line for a wide open high percentage shot, or Rondo will finish the layup himself. So it's like, that is a really good closing strategy. And I hope Ty Lue implements that and use that in every game going forward, because that can help them. That could be the difference in this series, because everybody know the Clippers will be right there in the fourth quarter with Dallas. If Dallas get a lead this game, everybody know the Clippers will probably tie the game up in the fourth quarter. It'll be a tie game, and it come down to executing plays. And I like that Rondo Kawhi execution down the stretch. I love it. Because now Kawhi gets a one-on-one, and if he double, and like I said, they double, well, that's fine. Because now, like I said, Rondo's out there. He can either make a pass or score himself. Or if Kawhi is in a double team, Kawhi has become a better passer over these last 2 years. So now, like he did last game, Kawhi drove to the paint and he saw a double or a triple team, and he passed it right out to Morris. Baseline 3, corner pocket, game over. Exactly. Execution is everything in the playoffs. And that's exactly what the Clippers need to do. Execute the plan and execute every plan going forward. Every game is a game 7. Have that mentality, Clippers, because that's going to get you over the hump. You have that mentality through the rest of these playoffs, you might actually find yourself in the NBA Finals. It's a long shot. Or at least they want us to think it's a long shot. But the Clippers can do it. They just have to push themselves in the right way, and they have to want to go do it. Because nobody's going to lay down for you, as you see. So since nobody's going to lay down for you guys, Clippers, y'all got to make it happen. Because a lot of Clippers fans are riding on the fact that you're good enough and you belong in the conversation with the Lakers. So the Clippers need to make their fans proud. Clippers need to stand up and win tonight's game and win the rest of this series. Win every game to win the rest of this series and move on to the next. But hey, that's my take on everything. That's how I view the situation. If you agree, if you disagree, I'm definitely fine with that. Hey, leave any comments in the comment section. We can definitely talk about it. You know how we do here at Callie's Take. I always engage in the community. I love engaging with you guys. You guys are always, putting good comments in the comment section. They're always great. And I always give you my feedback as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? And I really appreciate your take and your opinion, as I always say, because your opinion definitely means a whole hell of a lot more than mine. I'm just giving you my take and my perspective from, what I see. But I do appreciate your time. And, I always say, Callie out. Next time.